Hello, this is Mayor Pete T. Wood. Welcome to the Chaffee County Democratic Fundraiser for 2020. Our first act tonight, with the intimacy of a singer-songwriter performance and the sound and soul of a full band, Pint and a Half is currently touring in support of their second Howling Dog Records release, Not to Forget. Catchy hooks, close harmonies, and hard-driving rhythms are the bedrock of Pint and a Half's brand of Americana alt country. Please welcome Pint and a Half.
All right, hey there, Chaffee County Democrats. We're Pint and a Half. We are we're here in Salida, and we're gonna do a song. Start off with a song that's about the things we love in Chaffee County. It's called Mountains, Rivers, Music. 1, 2, 3, 4.
I never learned till it's gotten me down. Give me mountains and rivers and music and friends. Wood smoke and skies always blue. Tall trees and whiskey and days without end. Give me mountains, rivers, music, something real, something. Give me mountains and rivers and music and friends. Wood smoke and skies always blue. Tall trees and whiskey and days without end. Give me mountains, rivers, music, something real, something. When I drift down that clear stream to the other side, all of creation in view, no Wi-Fi will reach into my perfect dream. Treats will be birds and my cares will be few. Give me mountains and rivers and music and friends. Wood smoke and skies always blue. Tall trees and whiskey and days without end. Give me mountains, rivers, music, something real, something true. Give me mountains and rivers and music and friends. Wood smoke and skies always blue. Tall trees and whiskey and days without end. Give me mountains, rivers, music, something real, something true. Give me mountains, rivers, music, give me real, give me true. another original tune for you. This is a song called Truth, and it pretty much speaks for itself. Back in high school, the one who always had it made. So how's your life? Looks like you get to do all that you wanted to. Mine's pretty good until today. Don't let the truth get in your way. Don't let the truth get in your way. I saw the news. Looks like you won the prize. Red face and angry eyes. Right friends and daddy's name. I knew those girls who didn't tell someone, just boys out having fun. They knew it wouldn't change a thing. Don't let the truth get in your way. It's only life, we all know it's just a game you play. You write the rules, a lie is just something to say. Don't let the truth get in your way. Don't let the truth get in your way. And you feel nothing until it's taken away. Don't like the answers, ignore the question. Say what you want to say. Don't let the truth get in your way. Don't let the truth get in your way. All right. Woo. Well, thanks for joining us and for joining in on the Chaffee County Democrats.
Block Party, I think they're calling it.
Yeah, I think they're calling it a block party. We've got one more tune for you, kind of a fun one. So enjoy. Have a good time the rest of this evening. When I grow up, I want a pony. I'm gonna ride it from dusk till dawn. I'm gonna brush her mane and feed her sugar cane and keep her in safe from the storm. If I had a pony, I wonder, could I be your girl? I grew up, I want a baby. I'm gonna name it after Ralph Stanley. And I sure won't mind if it cries all night, just as long as it looks like me. If I had a baby, I wonder, could I be your girl? I want a cowboy, dust all over his jeans, with a horse named Jack and a 10-gallon hat. He is nice, but he looks so mean. If you were a cowboy, I wonder, could I be your girl? All my rings will be made of gold. I'll put flowers in my room, I'll wear perfume. I won't listen to rock and roll. If I was a lady, I wonder, could I be your girl? We're pint and a half. Thanks again, everybody.
Thank you, guys.
Hello, I'm Commissioner Keith Baker. Chaffee County is facing numerous challenges, so I'm seeking re-election as one of your county commissioners this November. Even though I've lived in Chaffee County since 2004 and been very active in civic and commercial life in the county, people tell me there are lots of things they don't know about me. So I hope to fill in some of the gaps in this brief time we have together. I grew up in rural northwest Georgia, where I attended public schools and then went straight to Mercer University in Macon, Georgia, where I graduated in 4 years. I entered the Navy through the Aviation Officer Candidate Program and served a 23-year Navy career in several at-sea and staff assignments. I obtained my master's degree in international relations and served on the Joint Staff in Washington, D.C., where I coordinated interagency policy among the different departments and Congress. My final tour was on the faculty of Air Command and Staff College in Montgomery, Alabama. And when I retired, I joined my fiancée Evelyn in Colorado Springs, where we were married. I entered the outdoor equipment business, and after a couple of years in that business, the trailhead in Buena Vista was available, so we purchased it and moved on up to the mountains. I became active in commercial and civic life in Buena Vista and served 2 terms as a Buena Vista town trustee. Friends of Browns Canyon tabbed me to serve as their executive director in October 2012, just before we sold the trailhead. This grassroots effort led to the designation of Browns Canyon National Monument in February 2015. Now I've served a highly productive term as one of your county commissioners, and I seek re-election this November. I'll appreciate your support now and your vote this fall. Thank you very much.
All right, good evening. I got next up we have Commissioner Keith Baker. Keith, how are you?
I'm great, PT. How are you?
I'm doing really well.
It's good to see you this evening. Good to see everyone out there this evening. Thank you for being on.
Yeah, this is great, huh?
Yeah.
So you're wrapping up your first 4 years as a Chaffee County Commissioner.
Yep. Bringing that to a conclusion, we've done a lot of things to establish some policy and some visionary programs and things for the county that puts us on a track into the future, because as we know, Chaffee County is growing rapidly, and if you don't have those things in place, by the time you need them, you'll wish you had them. So we're trying to get ahead of the power curve and have those things in place now.
Yeah, and I'll say it's been a wild 4 years, huh? You've gotten to do some really, really interesting, fun, cool things, and then kind of, I guess, starting last summer with the Decker fire, it's been just crisis after crisis, and it's really, I think, required the commissioners and yourself to really step up and lead us through a challenging time.
Yes, and my 23 years of Navy experience really stood me in good stead there with working not just in the Navy environment, but in the Washington, D.C. interagency environment, big staff environment, and international operations too, doing a lot of policy coordination and interagency coordination, and not being afraid to pick up the phone and call somebody and really try to see things through their perspective, but also protect the county's interests as well. Because that's our first duty as a commissioner, is to protect the county's interests and the residents' and citizens' interests, but also try to do it in a collaborative sort of way so that we really get the objectives that we're looking for.
Yeah, and I think Chaffee County has fared better through this COVID crisis than probably just about any other county in Colorado, and I think part of that has been a big part of that has been the leadership and then the interagency cooperation that really started with the commissioners and then filtered through.
Yeah, that's really something that it just kind of boggles my mind. I was talking to a representative from Senator Bennett's office a couple of days ago, and we were chatting about that, and it just kind of occurred to me. I said, well, don't other counties do that? And she said, no, it's really something that, you know, in my culture, back again to the interagency experience and everything, that's just the way you do business. You get everybody together frequently. Sometimes it seems like too frequently, but you discuss things, and I know you're an excellent spokesperson for the city of Salida and your constituents, and the leadership in Buena Vista does the same thing for them, and we all work collaboratively. And I think, you know, the key element is keeping that key objective in mind, which is protect the health and safety of our residents and our citizens, and minimize the negative health impacts, and obviously minimize the number of deaths that we have, and in so doing, do that in a way that doesn't totally disrupt our way of life and the fabric of our culture, you know, so that we do have an economy on the other side of this whenever it is. And that's kind of a tough part, is we don't know what the end state is and when it is, but we're working together to make it happen. And I really appreciate your leadership as well, and your cohort there from the city of Salida helping us out tremendously on that, and Poncha and Buena Vista, and all the different elements, the EDC, the business community, recreation community, everybody that comes together at that round table to discuss these things.
Yeah, it's been really a positive thing. And I think as we continue to work through that, I think we do have to look at the future. There is a past COVID
Yes.
future here. And I think you guys are working on some really interesting things that I'm excited about. The fire protection plan, the new plan for the county, the
The
comp
comprehensive
plan.
plan. Yeah,
That was a
yeah.
tough-
Life goes on. I mean, it's you know, we used to say you might have this situation going on, like you're driving your car. You might have a light on the dashboard, but you still have to worry about not hitting other traffic and safely weaving your way through traffic and everything. So you still have to keep those normal processes going. So the Community Wildfire Protection Plan is done with an eye to prevent natural disaster, prevent wildfire to the extent we can. But if it does occur, that we're able to deal with it through evacuation routes, through minimizing firefighter exposure and firefighter injury and death, and property damage, kind of in that order. We want to, you know, safety of life and limb is first, and then property is second. And I think it's important for people to understand that, and we codify that in the CWPP. The comprehensive plan is primarily, you know, a land use sort of document, or looking at things through a land use lens, but it kind of governs things like the Community Wildfire Protection Plan, our wastewater plan, all those other sort of subordinate plans that we look through that. And then looking on to a second term, one thing that I hope to do is that we have a county strategic plan like most other counties do. Gunnison County has a superb one. It's been updated several times over about 12 years or so that they've had it. And it gives the residents and citizens and people who are thinking about coming to our community and investing, starting a business or something, it gives them kind of a roadmap or know what to expect. How much does this county value clean air, clean water? How much am I going to have to really work to make sure that I comply with community standards? Or how much is the community going to help me comply with those standards? And I think that's one thing that our community does a really good job of, is helping people come in and integrate into the fabric of life here.
Yeah, absolutely. So I guess as we look towards next year especially, is there anything really immediate that you see coming down the line that we need to think about?
I think the first thing, again, getting back to that fundamental sorts of thing, because I mean, you have to kind of anticipate crises, but you don't, you don't act on them and really until they happen. But doing plan reviews and that sort of thing, I think that's something we've learned from the fire and from COVID-19, is you always need to be updating your contingency plans for disasters and things of that nature. But back to the fundamental elements, I think obviously we want to have the comprehensive plan approved and signed in the next couple of months, I'd say late summer, early fall, and it's out for review right now, public review. So we're working on that and continuing on that. But after we take a breather with the holidays and whatever happens with COVID-19, based on resumption of school and reopening and all those sorts of things that we really can't foresee clearly, but starting to update the land use code to get it more closely integrated with the comprehensive plan. It's been one of the things that I've heard since I've been here, since early 2004, that the land use code and the comprehensive plan don't mesh.
Right.
They're at total disharmony. The comp plan says this is the vision, and the land use code doesn't foster that vision.
Yeah, that can be a real challenge for
Right.
sure.
So that's probably one that's on the near horizon,
Yeah.
near planning horizon. And then that strategic plan, like I talked about, really trying to establish a broader scope vision, not just like the comp plan does, which is primarily through a land use lens, but something that looks at land use, looks at economic development, looks at how the county as a functional organization operates, like the county administration, and how all the elected officials work together, and make some contracts about how we cooperate and collaborate.
One thing I think that as a municipality we are concerned about moving forward is our infrastructure, and with CDOT's budget looking like it's going to be cut considerably, some of that infrastructure stuff is going to fall back on us a little bit more than maybe was anticipated.
Yeah, I think our share of these matching programs might increase dramatically.
Yeah.
The Highway User Trust Fund money that we usually get to help maintain our local roads based on how many lane miles we have, that's probably going to diminish. It's probably going to be raked somewhat in the legislature, the Joint Budget Committee. And this is a point I keep stressing every opportunity that I have with the federal delegation, the state delegation, and obviously everybody at CDOT. They can't think of Chaffee County through the same planning lens that they did 12, 15 years ago. If things they thought they could get away with deferring till 10 years, now they better be working on them tomorrow, yesterday, because we're almost like an exurb of the Front Range mega region. And the pressure just keeps mounting and keeps coming, and if we don't anticipate those things, if we don't start planning and acting on the plan now, it won't be us that really suffer, it'll be our descendants and the next generation that suffers, and I don't want to bequeath that to anybody.
No, yeah. Well, that's one thing I've always really appreciated about you, Keith. I'm huge on planning and thinking about the future and making sure that our municipality is set up for that. And I get the feeling, and I've seen the results, that you do the same for the county.
Absolutely. It's something that, you know, I always try to be ahead of the ship, ahead of the aircraft, ahead of the problem, because if you wait until it's right there, it's too late.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, thanks a bunch for coming in this afternoon. Is there anything to wrap up that you'd like to add?
I really enjoy this work. It's really about, I said in the 2016 campaign, I don't want to just be a commissioner, I want to do commissioner. It's work that I enjoy doing. It's my whole career up to this point, is looking at a problem, analyzing and developing a course of action, and that's what my experience is all about. And I want to keep that experience to work for the people of Chaffee County. And I will appreciate everyone's vote in November. So please vote for me, Keith Baker, this November. Thank you.
Thanks, Keith.
Thanks, PT.
Local Sliding Laura Porter has been a criminal defense investigator for 18 years and has deeply studied shamanic energy medicine. She's been playing piano her entire life. She grew up playing classical, but now she prefers to do her own style of improvisation. Her great-grandfather was taught by famous composer Franz Liszt, who opened the Liszt School of Music in Denver. She inherited the grand piano she is playing on in this video from this school. Please welcome Laura Porter.
Hi, my name is Laura Porter, and my music name is Cosmic Magnifico. I've been living in Salida since 2006. I've been gone a few years during that time, but I always vowed to come back to Salida because I love it. I value and honor this community in so many ways, and so this is for the people who are running it. I usually do an improvisation with message, so I wanted to talk a little bit about something Brene Brown did in a speech called The Power of Vulnerability, where she talked about how people who were feeling worthy of themselves and really sound and were good leaders had 4 qualities, and she did some major research on this, and she said that was compassion, courage, connection through authenticity, and vulnerability. When I talk about vulnerability, I was really thinking about that in a holistic sense, because there's many leaders or masters in holistic fields that have talked about how we can't control what's going on outside of us. And right now there's a lot of people that have a different opinion on what's going on right now or how we should do things. And part of that causes us a lot of unrest and suffering. And so we can only control what's going on with us and how we operate and react to things. We can't really control what's going on outside of us. We can only do our best to do our work, to plant seeds for people to respond in appropriate ways. And that's what being a leader is all about. being vulnerable means being a river, allowing your river to flow. If you dam up things and try to control it, you create walls. So when a river is flowing, it's flowing with emotion too. Many of the ancient wisdom and teachings have been all about how we must feel things and must allow us to deal with things and feel our emotions in order for things to continue flowing in a positive direction. When we dam things up, we create walls and blocks from us experiencing abundance in our life and joy, love, relationships, any of the above, positive life experiences. So it's really important to let the river flow in all directions. And when we start controlling other things and how things should be, we're also creating resistance in our life, judgment, resistance, and attachment in our lives that leads to a lot of conflict within us. So as leaders, understanding vulnerability and understanding this level of human interaction through compassion is key. And so part of just awakening to your higher potential and what you're passionate about that assists other people is planting seeds for change instead of trying to control and change other people by voicing judgment and resistance to it. So I'm going to do an improvisation today on these ideas. Some of it's a piece I created a long time ago, and so I don't really know where I'm going with it. But there is a level of what I would feel like where there's a lot of abuse and control going on right now with each other and how everyone feels. And there's also a lot of abuse going on our Pachamama, Mother Earth. And so there might be some dissonance in this where it's talking about all the chaos, and then some resolve where maybe we can all harmonize together and work with each other and do our own inner work to come to to act and react in higher levels of emotion. Thank you for listening today.
is an aerial team who have performed all over the world. The husband and wife team of Chris and Emily Wiegert tour extensively with our very own Salida Circus and recently were photographed performing duo trapeze from a hot air balloon. Please welcome Ariel Ora. Next up, Bruce Hayes plays rhythm and Celt grass music, a fusion of musical styles that combine acoustic and electric instrumentation with elements of rock, bluegrass, Celtic, and R&B music. Collaborating with the String Cheese Incident and Acoustic Junction, Hayes helped define the acoustic jam band sound. He continues this tradition, performing original songs on the mandolin, guitar, dobro, footboard, and his latest creation, the Strato Basto. Please welcome Bruce Hayes and friends.
Didn't I make you feel
you've got it if it makes you feel good. You know you've got it if it makes you feel good. You know you've got it if it makes you feel good.
Alex, are you 6 feet away?
I don't think so, man. I'm social distancing.
How about you, Alicia? You look like you're 6 feet away. Alright. I don't want to be at home by the TV when the Motorola speaker has shot. I'd rather be sliding down my 59 steel through a pair of power tubes running high. Pour me another cup of thanks a lot. You can hear the jukebox beating from the parking lot. Get your kicks in the cab while I'm sitting on top. That's all I'll ever get to do. I'm still 6 feet away from you. Well, she left me in the morning without warning. Said she had to see a man about a cat. Now the night is getting old and the chicken's getting cold, and I don't believe she's ever coming back. So pour me another cup of thanks a lot. You can hear the jukebox beating from the parking lot. Get your kicks in the cab while I'm sitting on top. That's all I'll ever get to do. I'm still 6 feet away from you. What? Hey, hey! Well, she left me in the morning without warning. Said she had to see a man about a cat. Now the night is getting old and the chicken's getting cold, and I don't believe she's ever coming back. So pour me another cup of thanks a lot. You can hear the jukebox beating from the parking lot. Get your kicks in the cab while I'm sitting on top of the world. That's all I'll ever get to do. I'm still 6 feet away from you. Huh!
Till the morning comes, here do you find. Till the morning comes, like a highway sign, showing you the way, leaving no doubt, all the way on in, all the way back out. To tell you what I do, I'll watch out for you. You're my woman now. Make yourself easy. Make yourself easy. Make yourself easy. Till we all fall down, into you find. Don't think about what you left behind. The same you came, all the way you go. Let your tracks be lost in the dark and sun. Tell you what I do, I'll watch out for you. You're my woman now. Make yourself easy. Make yourself easy. Make yourself easy. your mind. Just shake and text. We're yours to choose. What you may win, what you may lose. Tell you what I mean. I'll watch out for you. You're my woman now. Make yourself easy. Make yourself easy. Make yourself easy. You're my woman now. Make yourself easy. You're my woman now. Make yourself easy. You're my woman now.
Hello, fellow Democrats and constituents of Chaffee County. I'm Lori Boydston, and I'm running for House District 60, and that is Chaffee County, Park County, Custer County, and Fremont County. And I'm running to represent you. As you see on my website at lorihd60.com, my three main issues are improved, better broadband, green energy and green jobs, and an improved Medicare for all system in Colorado. I am a wife, a daughter, a mom of 3, and 5 grandchildren that are so amazing. I've lived in Salida for 25 years, and I built my home on my small ranch. It's an earthship kind of home, built out of 2,700 tires packed with dirt. And in my youth, I was a nationally competitive gymnast. In all of my adult life, I've been a small business owner. And I would like to bring my ideas of green energy, green job, better broadband, and improved Medicare for all to the State House for you. Open for suggestions and help with the campaign. And I thank you for tuning in to the telethon and donating to all of the Chaffee County Democrats. Stay safe and have a great day.
All right, next up we have Lori Boydston from Salida, Colorado, who is running for House District 60. Lori, how's it going?
I'm good, staying healthy. Thank you very much.
Excellent, excellent. Well, Lori, why don't you tell everybody maybe a little bit about yourself and why you're running?
You bet. I was inspired by Bernie Sanders to run. Got to see a 45-minute speech of his back in November of 2015 and have been working for him and following him and all of the platform. So I am really dedicated to making sure that Colorado will have a single-payer Medicare for all program system, that we should be leaders here in Colorado. Just like we were for gay marriage and marijuana, I think we can do that in Colorado for the country. But my number one issue would be the environment and seeing that we can get green jobs and green energy here in the mountains. And then, of course, better broadband. I'd like to see better broadband. We need to be able to compete with our businesses, our education, our communication, and I'd like to be able to help move that forward. I have lived in Salida for 25 years now. I have 3 grown children and 5 grandchildren that live close by. My dad also lives here, followed me here about 15 years now. He lives here in Salida. And so it's really nice to have lots of family right here, all supporting me as should be. I'm looking forward to representing the House District 60, which is Chaffee County, Custer County, Fremont County, and Park County.
That's a pretty big part of the world, but I think we're also up here, we really feel those initial effects of climate change maybe a little more than a lot of other parts of the world. So maybe talk about that a little bit.
Well, I would count myself as being green from when I was a little girl. And the first time I ever saw about alternative building, I said I wanted to do that. So my house is built out of 2,700 tires packed with dirt, an earthship kind of house with all south-facing windows. And I think we can gear our energy consumption to being less by doing more of that kind of building. I'd like to make sure that we're protecting all the species that we can protect by getting away from fossil fuel and supporting that we should be going 100% renewable energy for the future.
Yeah, and I think with the onset of the COVID virus, the affordability and access to healthcare has really kind of moved to the forefront of a lot of people's conscience.
Absolutely, and having a job attached to that. At this point, there's a lot of people out of health insurance because we're out of jobs. I'm on unemployment myself. I could not open my bed and breakfast this year, and I will not. I've got my dad. My brother is visiting here for months that's compromised as well, so I'm helping to take care of both of them, and I don't want people coming to my house and exposing with COVID. But the Medicare for All single-payer system would be where, in Colorado, I believe the statistic was about 6% of everyone's income can go toward a system. Now, that would be a reduction for most people, but that would mean that the very wealthy people would have to also chip in 6%, which is a lot of money to add to a system to make the system work. So I'd like to see that happen that way.
Excellent. And I think with a lot of business, particularly the hospitality businesses, coming out of the COVID, it's going to be a challenge for the state to help them stay in business, I think.
Yeah, I will definitely keep closed until this is really under control. And it's good that our city can get it under control. I think everybody needs to take masks seriously. Thank goodness we've got our 6-foot distance here. I've been very careful myself to
got my mask for when I'm not talking.
My mask. I go in with the 2-way mask everywhere I go because I really don't want to contract it. I know the mask is good for making sure other people don't get COVID from you, but I want the 2-way mask so we can really protect.
Yeah, it'll be an interesting election this year, I think, because of those health issues. The fact that actually wearing a mask has become a political thing, which is odd.
Yeah.
But an important year to vote, I think, right?
Absolutely, and thank goodness we have mail-in voting, which is absolutely safe. And we have proven that in Colorado. Thank goodness we're also leaders in that. There's, 5 states that have mail-in ballots, and it runs smooth. It's pretty amazing to say, well, I'll drop it off over at the courthouse, and my ballot is safe and secure.
Yep, absolutely. That's great. Well, is there anything else you want to add before we...
You bet. I've got a website, LoriHD60.com. And you can also find me on Facebook, LoriHD60.com, or Facebook. where we need volunteers, and absolutely, let's support all of our candidates here in Chaffee County and pitch in. We need all the donations to help us be able to do mailings and signs and talk to people on the phone. So
Yeah, that
we'll be
outreach
doing lots of that.
The outreach is a little more challenging this year than it has been in the past. You can't, it's harder to go just door to door. You need to raise a little more money than you've had in the past.
Well, I have some fabulous people on my campaign, and several of them are young. Like one is 17,
Wow.
one is 19, and then a couple more under 40. And so these are people that are really wanting to see environmental issues in the forefront.
Yep.
And so the young people are stepping up.
Yeah.
I'm loving that.
Yeah, we had the pleasure of visiting with Ella Barrett earlier today, and she's with the Chaffee County Young Democrats, and I think they'll be coming out strong for you. Sounds like they already are.
Very good.
So, all right, well, good luck, and
Thank you.
vote, right?
Absolutely. Vote, vote, vote.
The Whalen Hennies deliver an eclectic mix of covers and originals, from Americana to gospel, featuring strong vocals, rich harmonies, guitars, mandolin, and percussion. This group is always fun to see and hear. Excellent musicianship and lots of original material in addition to old favorites. Please welcome the Whalen Hennies.
Hello everyone. Thanks so much to the Chaffee County Democratic Party for inviting us to be part of this wonderful virtual block party today. We have arranged a very special set just for you.
Hi everyone. This first song I wrote in April. It's called Pandemic Blues. I think we can all relate. I was listening to a lot of John Prine songs, and what a great songwriter he was. So I feel this song was inspired by John. Pandemic Blues. I woke up this morning, I was lost in a dream. My heart was aching, I was swimming upstream. Then I remembered we're all in quarantine. A little bitty virus without a vaccine. I miss you, I miss you. I wanna wrap my arms around you, smell your hair, feel your skin. I'm getting tired of isolation. Anybody tell me when I can see you again? Talking to my friends, having meetings on Zoom. I can see your face and it brightens up the gloom. But the something missing, it's not quite the same. When we're together, it's a feeling I can't name. I miss you, I miss you. I wanna wrap my arms around you, smell your hair, feel your skin. I'm getting tired, really tired of isolation. Anybody tell me when I can see you again? Confusion of chaos, it's the darkness before the dawn. For many it's a great loss of a living or a life well known. But I believe in almost took him down, but not when he did run. Like a grain of wheat falling to the ground, you scattered many seeds and now they're flying all around. I miss you, I miss you. I wanna wrap my arms around you, smell your hair, feel your skin. I'm getting tired, awfully tired of isolation. Anybody tell me when I can see you again? Anybody tell me when I can see you again? Anybody tell me when I can see you again?
This is a song about inclusion written by Dave Rawlings and Sketch Sequor. I hear them all. I hear the crying of the hungry in the desert where they're wandering. Yeah, they're crying out for heaven's own benevolence upon them. I hear destructive power prevailing. I hear fools falsely hailing to the crooked wits of tyrants when they call. I hear them all, I hear them all, I hear them all. I hear the sound of tearing pages and the roar of burning paper and the signs and acquisitions turn to glare and ash and vapor and the rattle of the shackle far beyond emancipators and the lowliest who gather in their skulls. I hear them all, I hear them all, I hear them all. So while you sit and whistle Dixie with your money and your power, I can hear the flowers growing in the rubble of the tower. I hear leaders quit their lying. I hear babies quit their crying. I hear soldiers quit their dying. And all, I hear them all, I hear them all, I hear them all. I hear the tender words from Zion. I hear Noah's waterfall. See the gentle Lamb of Judah sleeping at the feet of Buddha, and the prophets from Elijah to the old Bayou of Olga take their places at the table when they're called. I hear them all, I hear them all, I hear them all. This land is your land, this land is my land. From California to the New York Islands, from the redwood forests to the Gulf Stream waters. This land is made for you and me. I hear them all, I hear them all, I hear them all. I hear them all, I hear them all, I hear them all.
Well, this is a song I wrote about 10 years ago. We thought it was still appropriate for today. We did collaborate on the last verse just to update it a little bit. It's called I'm Gonna Change the World. Copenhagen selling
This song is Trouble in Mind, which is quite appropriate for these troubled times that we're living in. We took the liberty of changing a few words at the end. Hope you'll enjoy it.
Trouble in mind, Lord, I'm blue, but I won't be blue always. The sun is gonna shine my back door someday. Gonna lay my head down on a lonesome railroad line. Let the two-night train ease my worried mind. Trouble in mind, Lord, I'm blue, but I won't be blue always. The sun is gonna shine in my back door someday. Going down to the river. Gonna take me someone I can share. And if the blues don't leave me, have to ride away from here. Trouble in mind, Lord, I'm blue, but I won't be blue always. The sun is gonna shine in my back door someday. All alone in midnight, and the land is burning low. Never been so much trouble in my whole life before. Trouble in mind, Lord, I'm blue. I will be blue always. Change is gonna come, it's gonna be big blue wave. Trouble in mind, Lord, I'm blue. I will be blue always. Change is gonna come, it's gonna be big blue wave. Change is gonna come, it's gonna be a big blue wave.
Don't forget to vote.
All right, I'd like to welcome Caitlin Turner, candidate for District Attorney in the 11th Judicial District. It's, I think, a really kind of interesting, important, but maybe not as well-known position that gets elected. Why don't you tell us what a DA does and why it's important to elect a Democrat?
Sure. So the DA is responsible for, really for community safety. So my office decides which cases are prosecuted, and we give victims a voice in court. So we're the people's representative. We also are the victim's representative in court. And we decide which cases we're going to prosecute, which cases we may divert to some alternate conclusions to cases, like drug treatment or some sort of restorative justice practices. So that's what my office does on a day-to-day basis. Yeah, we're a down ballot race, but we're very important.
Absolutely. And this seat has been traditionally a Republican seat in this district, is my understanding.
It is. I may be the first Democrat to ever hold this seat in this district. I've been asking around for the year I've been in office, so I was appointed by the governor last year to serve as district attorney. But no one I've talked to can remember a Democrat ever having held my seat before. Yeah. So I may be the first.
Right. Yeah, and I'd say in kind of the age that we live in, with some of the conflicts between police and other particularly minority and ethnic groups, that the DA's office becomes exceptionally important. And I know we've had locally a lot of luck with our restorative justice program through the Full Circle.
Yes.
And those alternative kinds of sentencing and treatment programs seem to be maybe something, a wave of the future.
I think so. You know, I think in the urban districts they've been used more because there are more resources typically. Sure. But my office this year has started a new pilot program for diversion. We're taking people who have been picked up on drug charges, low-level drug charges, and instead of prosecuting them, we're offering them the opportunity to go to Sol Vista and get introduced to treatment. So if those folks can attend 3 sessions at Sol Vista, and Sol Vista then can confirm, yes, this person came and engaged with us, we will dismiss their case. And the idea behind that is, let's give people a shot at treatment. We know that drug abuse it's an addiction, it's a public health issue, and we want to help point those people in the right direction and say, there is an alternative, and if you want to take part in that, we don't want to prosecute you, but we want to give you the opportunity to take part in treatment so that you can be better and healthier, and that makes our community healthier as well.
Yeah,
yeah.
Absolutely. So you will be working really hand in hand with the local law enforcement and sheriffs within your district. What are the, it's 4 counties in your district?
It's 4 counties. So I represent everyone here in Chaffee, and Fremont County, Custer County, and Park County. Yeah. So it's a very large district. Yeah. We're the size of some states. So there's a huge landmass here. And I have offices in 3 out of 4 of those counties. So we do have an office here in Chaffee. Yeah.
And I would guess that each of those different law enforcement entities are substantially different too, and it takes a lot of kind of flexibility to work with all of them.
Yes, and I'll tell you, when I took over, there was not a good relationship between my office and law enforcement. So one of my goals this past year has really been to build those bridges again. Yeah. Because we can't do our jobs without working together. It really requires being on the same team, having the same goals at the end of the day. And I have over 18 law enforcement agencies in the district. So people think of your sheriff's offices, there are only 4 of those, and your police departments, but there's also wildlife, BLM, the prisons, you know, DOC and the Federal Bureau of Prisons. We work with all those agencies. Yeah.
That is that's a full bowl of challenges for you.
Yes. And we've been lucky. You know, I have a history in law enforcement. I served as a federal law enforcement officer for 8 years with the Bureau of Prisons before I became the district attorney. So I have some background in that area, and that's helped me with those relationships. But yeah, it requires constant attention and the willingness to be open-minded and to work together.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Well, is there anything else you wanted to throw in?
Well, you know, down ballot races are always important, so I want to remind everyone to vote all the way down the ballot. My seat in particular is important this year. You know, if you've been following Black Lives Matter, if you've been following the criminal justice reform bill this summer, you know that district attorneys are at the forefront of that effort, of making sure that justice is fair, and that we're doing our best to eliminate racial disparities in our justice system. So you're not going to get that from my opponent. Yeah. And you know, we talked about the fact that I'm the only Democrat to have held this seat. Yeah. This may be our only shot in a long time for a Democrat to keep the seat, and it's important. So you know, we all care about living in a safe place, and we know that community safety is more than incarcerating people. So that's why my race is important. I want everyone to vote down ballot. And for those who don't know me as well, you know, I live in Fremont County. I've lived there for 9 years, but I'm up here a lot, so I'm always happy to meet with voters. But you can go to my website, which is turnerforda.com, to learn more. And there's also a donation link there. Awesome. So campaigns are expensive, and campaigning is hard. And so for all of our candidates, I want us to support everyone this year. Yeah.
Fantastic. Well, thanks so much, Caitlin. Good luck. I know I'll be voting for you.
Thank you, Mayor Wood.
Yep. All right. Heidi Clare and Ron Thomason have a duet based on much more than just their music. They also share an abiding love and respect for horses. Heidi is popularly acknowledged as the best old-time fiddler of her generation and has toured widely throughout the United States. Ron Thomason started out a child and never got over it. He has performed and recorded with many bluegrass artists and bands, including Ralph Stanley, Hazel Dickens, Ricky Skaggs, and Keith Whitley. Please welcome Ron and Heidi.
Howdy there. This is Heidi Clare, the great old-time fiddler, and Ron Thomason, coming to you in support of the Democrat Party and the Democratic way of life. We would like to welcome people that have been forsaken by the Republican Party because they're conservatives to give the Democrat Party some support, because we can actually list the things we conserve. And now we're going to town. That's pretty democratic, and probably some banjo playing. But mostly it reminds us of a time when the Narcissus and the chief commander of the troops didn't put a bounty on the heads of those that served. Was open. The man caught all in years, stood by the express office showing signs of grief and tears. Now when the clerk approached him, the old man then would say, well, I'm waiting for my boy, sir, he's a-coming home today. Well, you have made a silly mistake. Surely know that this is a telegraph officer and not a town depot. Now if your boys are coming home, the clerk would smile and say, you'll find them with the passenger service station just over the way. you do not understand me, sir. The old man shook his head, but he's not a-coming as a passenger by express instead. He's a-coming home to mother. The old man softly said, he's coming home in a casket, sir. He's coming to us dead. Express train, someone cried. The old man rose from breathless face and quickly rushed outside. And then a long white casket was lowered to the ground, showing signs of grief and pain. The roses gathered round. Do not tree and horseless walk. It contained your darling Jack. He went away, you bore Lord, this way he's coming back. He broke his poor old mother's heart. Her fears had all come true. She said it's the way he'd come back if he joined the boys. A lot of them come back that way too. Hi there, Ron and Heidi back. We believe this is so important to what we're doing here. I don't have any new information. Everybody knows the president spreads the plague and misinformation everywhere he goes, and has finally edged Andrew Jackson out as the worst president ever. But he's also edged out everybody else and shown himself to be the worst human being that was ever elected in a government office in this country. So we'll try to lighten things up just a little, but not much. They don't smell as sweet as they did when you picked them for me. Oh, when I think of you, the love we once knew, how I wish I could go back in time. Do you ever think back on old memories like that, or do I ever cross your mind? I could kiss those sweet lips like I did long ago. And how often I've longed for two loving arms that once held me so gentle and close. When old memories appear, my eyes can't stay clear when name is Ron Thomason. You might notice that I spend a lot of time standing in front of the camera holding an instrument, and that's because I declare has to do all the hard technical work. While we're waiting on her, well, I see she got here, but I'd still like to mention that if you're tired of being manipulated by the liar-in-chief, join the Democrat Party like good conservatives George Will, Steve Schmidt, and others have done, and let the Southern District of New York Court take care of the president when he's out of office, and we can throw in Attorney General Barr there too for his crimes. Crook in the straw, ha ha ha. Now, let me just say one thing. When you go to the ballot box this November, there's a question you might ask yourself before you vote, and it is this: how well can you speak Russian?
All right, next we have a very special guest from 1912, once known as the most dangerous woman in America. Mother Jones was a tireless champion of workers' rights. Mother Jones, why is this election important?
PT, why is this election so important, you ask? Well, I've come over from the other side, as it were, to tell you why this election is so important. My boy, money and the corporations run this country. That's why certain people are in office, political office, eh? Militia, they're paid to follow their orders, but it's the working men, the small business women and men who are suffering terribly. And besides the suffering,
Why is it important to vote?
Why do people need to vote? PT, this is a very serious issue. Now, in my day, I didn't need the vote. I would raise hell. I would raise hell with commitment and with a voice. But today, it's different. Everyone equally needs to vote.
What would you say to the protesters?
PT, you want to know what I have to say to the I've got a lot to say to the protesters today because I should know. I started with protesting and I never stopped. I spoke to crowds of workers in state after state across this nation. I did. I rallied for the miners. I soapboxed on the backs of wagons, the fronts of mines, factory entrances, courthouse steps. Well, I spoke to so many miners all over this nation. And you want to know? You want to know if protesting is important? Well, I shook those miners up and I let them know, and they joined me in raising hell. Raising hell is the most important thing. Raising hell, praying for the dead, but raising hell for the living. Does that answer your question, PT? It's a very important thing that we're out on the streets and we're protesting because what's going on in your world right now, it's not right. It's not good. It must be changed. And we can all change it, eh? How can we do that? You ask me, how do we change it? Well, this I say, I've never had the vote, but you all will have the vote. That's the first way we change it, and we get everyone out to vote. Most important thing. You need a big change in your government. The most perfect government. Now this, I rather like. This is the slogan of the union called the Knights of Labor. I worked for them. My first union I worked for. I'm very proud. The most perfect government is one in which an injury to one is the concern of all. That bears repeating, does it not, PT? The most perfect government is one in which an injury to one is the concern of all. Hey. Well, my friend John Lewis put it best. If you're hesitating about getting out there, protesting, doing what you need to do to change this country, well, as John Lewis said, you get rid of your fear, and that way is the way you get into good trouble. It's what we need more of, good trouble.
All right, good evening. This is Salida Mayor P.T. Wood, and I'm sitting here with Ella Barnett from the Chaffee County Young Democrats. Ella, how's it going?
Doing well, how are you?
Excellent, thanks. Beautiful day in Salida. So what brought you here today?
So there's actually a new Colorado election law that allows 17-year-olds to vote in the primaries as long as they're 18 at the time of the election in November. And I just thought that was really cool, and I think more kids should know about this, because, yeah.
Yeah, I think it's really important to get the young voters out, especially for this election this year.
Oh yeah, I agree, definitely.
So what do you think the younger voters care about?
So around the high school, when I was still in high school, I mainly heard about things like gun control, women's reproductive rights, immigration, right now, like the coronavirus, and if kids are actually going to be able to go back to school. But the biggest thing that I've noticed is that kids tend to get their information from other kids around them. They don't really do the research by themselves, which isn't always the best, because then some false information can spread pretty quickly, and then people form opinions based off of things that aren't true.
Yeah, I think we see a lot of that in a lot of places around the world right now.
Yeah.
So where would you recommend that the kids start to get their information?
So personally, I listen to like a podcast from the New York Times. MSNBC is great, CNN, again the New York Times, the Washington Post, and NPR. YouTube videos, if you don't really just want to like sit down and read the paper. There are a lot of different resources if you just do a little bit of research and find what's best for you.
Yeah, I think it's always important to check the source, right?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Make sure it's a reliable one. So there's a lot of turmoil in the world right now, right? The coronavirus, the Black Lives Matter movement, racial inequality, problems with immigration, all that stuff. So as kind of a young first-round voter, where do you see the future? Where are we going? What do you hope for?
So I think it really, really depends on this election. I think the future of our country is really, it can go in two different places. Personally, obviously, I would say that Biden would probably be our best bet. But yeah.
Yeah, I hear it's a lot of mystery, right? A lot of hoping for the best, though, right?
Yeah.
Excellent. All right. Well, Ella, thanks so much for coming. And you got some advice for the 18-year-old, 20-year-old kids out there?
Vote.
Vote.
Yeah. Become registered. Yeah. It's really great. It's actually really cool to know that you can vote and that you're doing something.
A really fun thing to participate in is governance, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I agree.
Cool. Thanks all.
Thank you.
Hey everybody, I'm Jillian Freeland, your Democratic nominee to serve in the 5th Congressional District. I am a coupon-clipping, solar-powered millennial mama and a registered midwife. I had a private practice in Colorado Springs and had the pleasure of helping hundreds of families as they welcome new babies into their lives. And in the course of that work, I really quickly got frustrated with the state of our healthcare system and spent a lot of time fighting with some person on the other end of a phone line whose entire job was just to deny as many medical claims as possible. And so I decided I needed to take more steps to advocate for my patients. And I organized a group of folks to go in and visit our local congressman, Mr. Doug Lamborn. And we were not well received. In fact, his staff told us that it's not his job to represent everyone and that doing so would actually compromise his morals. This is not the attitude of a person who truly desires to represent a district, which is, of course, the job title. And to me, representative means you listen to, you are accountable to the folks in your district, and you learn from their struggles and their experiences, and you take that information and you put it to work in DC. And a total refusal to listen to veterans and healthcare providers as they share what they have observed in our systems is a major failure. And I really struggled with being received in such a way by my elected official. And so I continued the activism work. I organized with a lot of fellow concerned Americans in the district, and it just became more clear with every action that he was not interested. The last time he held a town hall and stood in front of his constituents was more than 3 years ago. How can you be accountable to your district? How can you meet their needs if you are not even talking to people? And so I decided that I needed to run, and that the path that Donald Trump and Doug Lamborn have us set down is not gearing up a bright future for my daughters or for any of the kids that are growing up right now. I mean, we are facing multiple crises in terms of a pandemic that is raging uncontrolled in our country and killing over 150,000 Americans so far. And we are nowhere near the end of this. And this is because Donald Trump and Doug Lamborn and many other elected officials have a long tradition of not listening to the advice of experts. The same is true when it comes to protecting our clean air and water, listening to scientists when it comes to what actions we need to take and what the time frame is on those actions so that we can fully combat the impacts of climate change. is critical. And to completely discount and ignore the science is so incredibly irresponsible and just speaks to an unwillingness to work for the public. Our government has become the handmaiden of businesses and interest groups, and that is not serving people. And we can see it clearly when Congress decides to go on break right before eviction moratoriums end, before rent is due, and right when unemployment benefits expire, leaving millions of families at risk. But they needed to go home for a break. Whereas if this mama was there, I would have said, no, y'all, we got to stay here. There's still work to be done. We cannot leave our public vulnerable in this situation. And so that's why I'm running, because we need that no nonsense, mom's going to come in here and get this work done attitude in Congress, or we are just going to continue down this path. And I think we all know how dangerous Donald Trump is for families, for women, for minorities, for the planet. And so I'm really glad y'all are here today. And I want you to know that we have to hold on to hope. And that even though I just laid out so many struggles that we are facing, that the fact that you are here, that you are engaged, that you are willing to step up and not only vote, but get involved with campaigns and contribute your time, your treasures, and your talents to make us succeed, that gives me hope. Because even though these times are scary, we still have the power. When we stand together and we demand change, it happens. And so as much as I wish we could all be together, I commend y'all for maintaining social distancing. You are doing a great service to our friends and neighbors by continuing to limit our contact with each other. And I urge you to get involved. My campaign website is jillianfreeland.com. You can sign up there to volunteer by phone banking or text banking or writing postcards. There's a whole variety of ways that you can get involved with the campaign. Of course, all of these volunteer activities are driven by money. So if you can assist with some funds, that's wonderful and absolutely critical. The campaign maximum donation is $2,800, and I am a middle-class mama. I stretch a buck like you would not believe. So whatever you can contribute, I will put it to good use, and we will finally let people in this district know that there is an alternative to Doug Lamborn. There is a person who wants to listen, who wants to take their struggles and experiences and put them to work for the people, by the people, and of the people, as our government should be. So thank you for doing this work, for staying engaged, for keeping up the fight, even when it's exhausting and terrifying, because by not giving up now, we are going to put the Trump administration and all of his enablers out of business. So get ready to plan a big retirement party, Doug Lamborn. Your term is over and mama's gonna step up and take over the job. JillianFreeland.com, again, is the website. Connect with us on social media. FreelandCO5 is the handle, and we'll see you out there on the campaign trail virtually.
Hello, Chaffee County Democrats. I'm obviously up at my ranch, and like many of you, I'm finding this summer to be a little different than summers we've had before, but I know we will continue to work together, address the challenges as they come, and we will get through this together. But let's talk a little bit about politics and what's in our future. We have an incredible campaign season in front of us, where we need to support our campaigns in new and different ways. From the top of the ticket to the bottom of the ticket, we're gonna have to volunteer in different ways, we're gonna have to donate in different ways, and we're gonna have to get the word out in different ways. But I've seen what the Chaffee County Democrats can do, and so I have no doubt that you guys will rise to this challenge. Politically, I have 2 more sessions left in the Colorado State Capitol and look so forward to continuing to champion your issues at the building. So don't ever hesitate to contact me with your idea or your problem that you need help solving with. My office is always open, even though some days this is my office. It's always been a pleasure getting to know you guys and working alongside you guys, and I don't anticipate that changing. I think the session ahead has more work on healthcare, protecting our water and making sure it stays in the basin that it was born in, particularly with climate change, always on our heels. We have to be acutely aware of that and working for social justice. And so I hope you'll join me in these fights, as well as those issues that we assess in the coming weeks and months to make sure that our economies and communities fully recover from the COVID-19 pandemic. So keep in touch, stay safe, and have a wonderful rest of the summer.
Blue Recluse is a 5-piece power blues band. They play a wide range of blues, rhythm and blues, and country blues from the 40s to present day. Powerful, sultry vocals in combination with hard grooving rhythm section and classic electric blues guitar and keys make this band a blues lover's dream. So put on your dancing shoes, because Blue Recluse will rock your soul with its unique brand of rare and classic songs by the likes of Coco Taylor, Etta James, Big Maybelle, Susan Tedeschi, Bonnie Raitt, and Janis Joplin, as well as original songs like Close My Window, Run Me Ragged, and Austin Blues with a traditional blues, Chicago blues feel. Please welcome Blue Recluse.
Believe I can do any damn thing that I choose. Now you might just tell me, little Ernie, you always wrong. I'm here to tell you my luck's bound to change before long. I guess I'm a fool's fool. Was trained by the best. I stood up to all the rest, baby, I'm no fool. To believe in justice till I found out what it meant. Means just us without no money, never gonna have a damn cent. Home of the brave, land of the free. I believe every lie that they ever told to me. You know I'm your fool. Yes, I'm a fool's fool. Who was trained by the best. I stood up to all the rest. Now baby, I'm a fool. I used to believe a man's dignity and his right to be free was guaranteed on paper to folks like you and me. That a man, he worked for wages, not just to feed his kids. Our kids had more to look forward to than crack and a coffin lid. I guess I'm a fool's fool. Was trained by the best. I stood up to all the rest, baby, I'm a fool. Bigger fool, honey, you just bring him on. I'll be defending my title my whole life long. Now the check is in the mailbox. This'll only hurt a little bit. You got some blues to sell, baby. I'm in line to get it, honey. I'm your fool. Yes, I'm a fool's fool. Was trained by the best. I stood up to all the rest. Now, baby, I'm your fool. A fool. Fool. Fool's fool. Fool's fool.
brings everybody to happiness and good health and the day when all of this is over. Cheers.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
I'm going to send this song out to my dad, who passed away in March, and to all the people who lost people during this whole COVID pandemic. My heart goes out to them. Ernie and I are going to sing this song. Much love.
Do I ever cross your mind? So darling, do you ever see some situation somewhere somehow triggers your memory? Do you ever wonder what became of all that time? Do I ever cross your mind?
Do you ever want to know, do our dreams go on endlessly, or do they just run down somehow and gradually become the custody of that melancholy jailer for the time? Oh my, do I ever cross your mind? Do I ever cross your mind uninvited? Now when you're lonely, well, does that only happen to me?
So darling, do you ever wanna know what became of all that time?
I wanna know, do I ever cross your mind? Do I ever cross your mind uninvited? Now when you're lonely, what does that only happen to me?
So darling, do you ever wanna know what became of all that time?
I wanna know, do I
cross your mind? Do I ever cross your mind? Cheers, everybody. Let's have some fun. You only live once, and when you're dead, you don't stay the good time roll. Now let the good time roll. Don't give your young heart. Get in the groove and let the good time roll.
Hey, you guys, thanks so much for
Don't
being
sit
with
there
us.
mumbling, talking trash. Wanna have fun, you gotta spare some cash. Make a good time roll. Now let the good time roll. Don't give your young heart. Get it together. Let those good times roll. Yeah.
All right, well, that's the show, folks. Thanks for watching. Please donate, get in on the auction items, and remember, this year your vote is more important than ever. Get out there and vote Democrat.
Hey, you guys, thanks so much for being with us tonight. Unfortunately, we've run out of content before we ran out of things to auction off. So here's what I'm going to ask you guys to do. The live video is about to end, and after that, I want you to go back to the Chaffee County Democrats page. We're going to start another live video. It's actually already running, so you can go over there anytime. We're going to pick up the auction over there. It's going to be live. We've got pizza here in the studio, so we're going to have a great time. So I'll tell you what, I'll see you over there. Again, after this video is ended, please head over to the Chaffee County Democrats page where there's another live video going on. We're going to continue the auction till 8 o'clock. I can't wait to see you over there. It's going to be a lot of fun. Bye-bye. Thanks. Hey, you guys, thanks so much for being with us tonight. Unfortunately, we've run out of content before we ran out of things to auction off. So here's what I'm going to ask you guys to do. The live video is about to end, and after that, I want you to go back to the Chaffee County Democrats page. We're going to start another live video.